Welcome back to Campus Connections. Today for our recipe, we're making a spring twist on everyone's favorite ramen noodles. So you're gonna boil these noodles just like you normally would. Crunch up the package though before you put it in the water. That way the noodles are all separated. And we're gonna let those boil. Now for this recipe, you're also going to need shredded chicken. One thing you can do is just make simple chicken breast and shred it yourself, or you can buy shredded chicken in a can. We've already made our chicken breast. To shred it, just take 2 forks and pull it apart. If you've cooked it all the way through, it should be nice and tender. You might need to wait until it cools a little bit to shred, but once you've got it all shredded, then you can set it aside. Now it's perfectly fine to use the chicken in a can for this recipe as well. It's going to be a cold salad, so you don't have to have warm chicken. Now for the ramen noodles, we don't want to let them cook too long. The recipe calls for only 1 minute, so make sure you cook those just for a minute and do not use the sauce packet. You're not going to want the beef flavoring in there or whatever flavoring you choose. You just want the noodles for this recipe. And after it's been a minute, we can strain these and just set them aside as well. This recipe has its own dressing for Oriental Chicken Salad. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to need seasoned salts, not just salt, and we're going to need 3 teaspoons of this. And we're going to go ahead and make the dressing in the bowl that we're serving the salad in. So 3 teaspoons of seasoned salt. We're also going to need 3 teaspoons of sugar. And 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. Then we'll also add a 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper, just like your normal table pepper. Half a teaspoon of that, and you can add more of these seasonings to your taste. And then we also need 1/2 cup of oil. Vegetable oil or canola oil will work for this recipe. And that's going to serve as our dressing, so we'll mix all of that up. And then we're going to go ahead and cut up our vegetables. For this recipe, it calls for 3 to 6 green onions. So we'll chop the ends off of those. Make sure you wash your vegetables before you put them in. We'll just cut those up really quick. And it also calls for celery. Now we're using 3 stalks of celery, but you can add as much as you want. You can also choose to use sesame seeds, roasted almonds, or even water chestnuts in this recipe. But we're going to go with just the basics. Once again, we're college students, so we don't have that much money to go buying fancy things like that. So there's the green onions, and we also have 3 stalks of celery. And you can cut this as big or small as you want. And then we'll go ahead and add that to the dressing we just made. Oops, runaway onions. Now we'll go back to the noodles that we just boiled. Kind of spread those apart with your fingers. Make sure that there's not any really big chunks like this. That's pretty long for a salad. You just want small little shards. The more you crunch it up before you boil the noodles, the better. And then we'll go ahead and add that in as well. And we'll also add our chicken. The last thing we need to add is lettuce. Now you can choose about a half a head is what the recipe calls, but we're going to go with just a bag lettuce. It's already shredded for us, so we don't have to do as much work. And you can add as much as you want in there. I usually use about half a bag. And now all that's left to do is toss the salad. Now, if you don't have a really big bowl, this can be an issue. You want to make sure that you get all of the dressing spread around. And then this salad can be served right away, or you can chill it in the fridge and serve it later. And it's always good to refrigerate the leftovers, and you can have them for lunch the next day. Let's recap today's recipe. Oriental Chicken Salad. The ingredients you'll need are 1 package of ramen noodles, any flavor, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, 1/2 cup of oil, 3 teaspoons of seasoned salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 4 cups of shredded cooked chicken breast, as well as 3 to 6 green onions sliced, 3/4 cup celery sliced, and 1/2 head of lettuce or bagged salad. The first thing you want to do is cook your ramen noodles for 1 minute and drain. Set aside the flavoring. In a bowl, mix vinegar, oil, salt, pepper, and sugar. Add the noodles, chicken, onions, and celery, and toss, and then add lettuce and toss some more. That is our Oriental Chicken Salad made with ramen noodles.